Well. They added SpongeBob Square Nuts to my Magic the Gathering. Let me just sit down here for a second, because this is ridiculous. I have a few hot takes that I need to get off my chest. I want to start with this. I predicted this. I said well over a year ago that we would have a SpongeBob themed Magic set. And I said that as a joke because of Universes Beyond. Because everybody was mad about Universes Beyond. Alright? Now it seems that Wizards of the Coast is just taking every brand deal that they can get. Corporate greed. Alright? We live in America. Get used to it. Corporate greed. Reminds me a little bit of Blizzard. Another company that had tons of loyalty. Everybody loved them. Everybody loved their IPs, the stories. Everybody had all the merch. Like, everybody loved Blizzard. They were the golden goose, the golden baby of the gaming industry, right? They treated their fans well. They always came out with compelling stories and games that didn't try and rob you left and right. And now look at Blizzard. They completely killed Overwatch, one of the best hero shooters ever made. They completely killed it. Made half their team leave. They don't have any good games anymore. And for their 20th anniversary, people like me who've been playing the game for literally 20 years. I started when I was 7. What do we get? We get a $90 store mount that has an auctioneer on it and a gym for each expansion. $90. $90. No content. No new dungeons. No expansion. Wizards of the Coast, Blizzard. The fans loved you. What are we doing? Now that there's SpongeBob cards, what's the point of buying real Magic? I'm just waiting for the VeggieTales expansion. I'm trying to be the cucumber. I want the cucumber deck. Can Larry the cucumber be a commander, please? Wizards of the Coast? Can we do that now? When are the Family Guy cards? When are we doing Family Guy cards? When are we doing Family Guy cards? Hey guys, I have a quick announcement. Sorry to interrupt the video. My friend and I have been working on a video game for about 6 months now. Everything's just done outside of work. We both have full-time jobs, but we spent tons of time on it. All of the art, the sound effects, the code, the music, everything is done by us or by one of our friends who's in a band, and he's actually composed some of our music for us. It's awesome. But this is a passion project for us. It's called The Forbidden Flask, and it's out on Steam this week. You can't play it yet, but you can wishlist it, and wishlisting it helps us a lot. Any money raised through this is purely going to go to my student debt and funding future projects. I'm super excited for it. Releasing a game on Steam has been a dream of mine since I was 9 years old, and it feels like it's finally coming to fruition here. So yeah, The Forbidden Flask on Steam. I'll put a screenshot right here. If you don't mind, give us a wish list. Wishlisting games on Steam is free, and it's an awesome way for you to support us, help boost us in that coming soon section on Steam. That'll bring us more traffic, more support, help us fund future projects. So help us out if you don't mind. Smack that wishlist button. Now, let's get back to the video. Look, guys, in all seriousness, I'm fine with Universes Beyond. As a fan of the game, as a fan of high fantasy in general, Jesus Christ, this hat. As a fan of high fantasy in general, Universes Beyond is a great idea, right? Lets them branch out into other IPs, helps the company do collabs, helps them bring in extra money, right? And everybody loved Lord of the Rings. Everybody loved, even Doctor Who. I can get behind Doctor Who. I can get behind Dungeons and Dragons. I can get behind all these, right? But Sping Bing? We're doing SpongeBob now? I want to say this, though. As somebody who's bought a booster box, at least a play booster box of virtually every set that's come out in the last 2 years of Magic the Gathering, I will not be doing this anymore. I won't be. Because what's the point? I could have proxied a damn SpongeBob deck a year ago if I wanted to. But it's not just because of SpongeBob. Honestly, I'm more let down by the Marvel set. I don't want to have Spider-Man in my commander pod. I don't want to have Optimus Prime or the Fortnite Battle Bus at my... and Patrick Star to be my 4 commander pod. I didn't want this. I want elves. I want druids. I want bears and everything else. And I'm here to say something that I've seen a lot on, like, you know, online forums and stuff. People talking about it. People talking about it on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And that's Magic has lost a lot of its integrity. Wizards of the Coast, as a company, has succumbed to typical American corporate greed policies, right? Like, what's going to make us the most money? Are there people out there, like, how do we cross an audiences here? Are there people out there who like SpongeBob who have never touched Magic the Gathering? Probably. Okay, let's make a set for it. Are there people who have played Assassin's Creed and like Assassin's Creed and don't play Magic the Gathering? Okay, what about Transformers? What about Doctor Who? Okay, so we're like growing our audience here, but the point of why they're doing it is purely to make more money. They're not thinking about the future of the game. They're not thinking about the past of the game. I completely understand. They're doing what Daddy Hasbro tells them to do. I understand that. But what we need to think about is that there are people who have been playing Magic the Gathering for 30 years. People who were 5, 6, 7 years old playing Magic the Gathering on the playground in the 90s. These people have loved this game for 30 years, 31 years now. Like, there are tons of people who grew up with this game, have stuck with it as like a main hobby, a main thing in their life, spent tons and tons of money. Like, those are the people that have made Magic what it is today. The original, like, people who were playing this card game in the 90s allowed it to grow to this size. And we're spitting in their face because, like, oh, we're going to celebrate our 30th anniversary. What are we going to do? We're going to come out with $1,000, like, 6 packs of cards that are just proxies of old cards. Like, Wizards literally says on them, like, these are proxies. Just proxy them yourself. Why are we spending $1,000 to celebrate the history? Like, we should be doing something to actually celebrate. Like, we're not actually celebrating the history. You just want $1,000. It couldn't be more clear. And there's people who actually bought that stuff. That blows my mind. But anyways, that's besides the point. All I'm saying is, I want to announce that I will be still buying some packs here and there, but I will no longer be buying tons of booster boxes. I don't think I'm going to do another box opening on this channel. Not unless I can find a box real cheap, because your boy's proxying going forward. If I can play SpongeBob on official cards, if I can play Optimus Prime and the Battle Bus and the My Little Pony set that came out, like, if we can play all these ridiculous, like, out-of-universe cards and they're real cards, those don't feel like real cards to me. They don't. And when the real cards feel like fake cards, why am I paying real money? Why am I going to pay $230 to have a SpongeNob Square Nuts card when I can just proxy it and get it for 2 cents, get the same card? What am I doing here? Because the whole value in Magic was, it's all perceived, right? It's not like a gold bar, okay? The value exists because there's supply and demand. And the supply and demand, because it's cardboard, like, the supply and demand is completely artificial, right? Like, Magic, or like Wizards of the Coast, could print 1 billion boxes of a set if they wanted to and sell them at cost, right? But that's not the reality. Like, they want there to be an artificial value to these cards. So they print a limited amount and they put rare cards in those sets. So there's a limited amount up front, and then, oh, I pulled a rare card. Oh, it's worth $200. No, it's just a piece of cardboard. Like, the line, there's like a line in the sand, right? And all these SpongeBob, Assassin's Creed sets, the line is blurred now, right? Like if you go to like a game store now and you just see some wacky zany card, it could be a real card you don't even know about. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, real cards don't feel like real cards anymore. To me, at least. Real cards feel like fake cards. Because we're just partnering with all these brands. All we care about is money. If we cared about the people, we would have done something that wasn't like greedy, $1,000 for some packs of cards that aren't legal. Like, that's not how you celebrate 30 years. That's not how you celebrate loyal customers. What are we doing? Like, I'm just saying, my immersion is broken. My immersion in Magic the Gathering is broken. Will I still be playing Commander every single week with my friends? Of course. Of course I'll still be playing Commander every single week. Because as a game, I love it. What I don't love is what the company has become. They've succumbed to American corporate greed. And when companies do that, they lose fans. They lose people like me. When you try and make every single dollar you can, and that's all you care about, the history starts to mean less. The product starts to mean less. The, like, meeting up with your friends to just stare at cards. It means less. Because half my friends are proxying cards now. None of my friends are buying real cards. I'm not going to buy real cards. Like, why? What's the incentive to buy real cards? What's the incentive? Because Bloomborough, I was super excited for Bloomborough. I opened a full play box of Bloomborough, and I opened a full collector box of Bloomborough. I pulled this. This is the ultra rare gold foil treatment. You see that? You see the gold on the outside? It's raised gold foil Balin the Haymaker. Pulled this out of a box about a month ago. I jumped up and down, was super excited. Was like, oh my god, I got the super rare card. I got the super rare variation of this card. $240 on TCG Player at the time. I don't know what it is now. I took it to my local game store the next day. I didn't know if I was going to sell it or not. My intentions were to see what they would buy it for, right? Like, I wanted to walk in and say, hey, I pulled this crazy cool card. It's $240 online. What will you pay me for it? Would you like to buy it? And the store owner goes, what are you willing to give it up for? Because we've had 6 of those come in and no one's buying them. They had 6 people bring in this exact card in the exact gold foil treatment and no one was buying them. So despite saying $240 online, honestly, I could rip this. I could rip this right now. That's how little this card means to me. Because it's not worth anything. It says it's worth something online because that's what people want to pay for it. But the avenues to sell it at that price don't really exist. If you bring this to an LGS and they want to buy it, you're going to get maybe $100. Maybe $100. If you try and sell it on your own, on TCG Player, you have fees. You have to ship it out. You have to work with the customer. And after all that, you're not getting much more than $100. So why did I pay $230 to open a box that didn't guarantee me this? I paid the price of this on TCG Player for a box. It was not guaranteed. I got this, and if I were to sell this, I don't break even on the box. And the bulk of those cards, the bulk of the cards that I got out of that box are just bulk. That brings me to my next point. It's not worth it. This is not worth it. It's not. Proxy the damn cards. Magic the Gathering is a great game. But Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro own it. And all they want is your money. That's all they want. They want those values on TCG Player to be super high so that people go, ooh, I can get that out of this box. And then they go buy more product. It's a game. We love the game. It's got a great community. But all the company wants is your money. They don't care about anything. They don't care about anything else. I've been collecting Magic cards for a few years now. I have well over 10,000 Magic cards. Honestly, right there, this is my unsorted. I don't know if you can see this. Under that Lego Star Destroyer right here, that's 3 stacks in a row of Magic cards. Probably about 400 or so cards right there. Then we got another stack here. We got another stack here. And then we got another stack here. This is my Duskmourn pre-release box. And then behind it are 2 more stacks. I am a fan of the game. I do buy the cards. But the rose-tinted glasses are gone. They're gone, baby. This isn't cool cardboard anymore. It's just cardboard. And going forward, I'm going to buy just cardboard. Because when the company doesn't care about its fans, I don't support you. I don't support your company. But I'm still going to be playing the game. Now, to sum everything up, I'll still be buying product every now and then. I'm still going to be playing the game every single week. But most people I know are starting to proxy. And I'm going to start proxying too. Because why am I spending thousands of dollars every year on Magic the Gathering when the company does not care about its consumers? Why should I open $200 worth of SpongeBob cards when I can just get SpongeBob as my commander for 10 cents? There's no point. There's literally no point. When real cards start to feel like fake cards, I'm out.